The blistering afternoon sun hung low over a private airstrip just outside San Diego, California. The steady buzz of tools, the sharp scent of engine oil, and the occasional clang of metal echoed through the hangar. Inside, Ava Mitchell, a 30-year-old tech mogul and CEO of one of America's fastest-growing aerospace firms, stood with a frown. Sharp, confident, and notoriously exacting, she rarely lost her composure, but today, frustration etched every line of her face. Her brand-new corporate helicopter, worth over $8 million, stubbornly refused to start. Not a single one of her top engineers had managed to get it running. Her flight to a critical investor meeting was already hours behind schedule. Unbelievable, she muttered, brushing her hair from her face. The nation's most advanced team, and none of them can get this rotor spinning. A calm voice replied from behind. Maybe you're listening to the wrong people. She spun around to find a man in his late 30s, dressed in worn jeans and a dusty mechanic's jacket. His name tag read Ethan Cole, a local freelance mechanic, brought in as a last resort. With sun-kissed skin, calloused hands, and an effortless calm that stood in stark contrast to the chaos around him, he looked unremarkable at first glance. You think you can fix what my engineers couldn't? Ava asked, skeptical. Ethan smiled faintly. Machines don't care how wealthy you are. They just need someone who pays attention. The engineers snickered in the background, but Ava, equal parts amused and desperate, crossed her arms. All right, cowboy. If you can get this helicopter running, I'll give you whatever you want. He wiped his hands on a rag, eyes scanning the massive chopper. I don't need much. Just a little quiet and a chance to work. Hours passed as the sun sank lower. Hangar lights flickered on, casting a golden glow over the silver helicopter. Ethan worked deliberately, handling each panel like a physician checking a pulse. Every motion was measured, precise. He listened to the soft ticks, the electrical hum, even the subtle hiss of air from the vents. Ava watched from a few feet away, her irritation gradually replaced by curiosity. There was something unexpectedly graceful about the way he moved. No arrogance, no wasted gestures. Just focus. You always work this quietly, she asked. Machines speak. He replied without looking up. Most people just don't know how to listen. He reached into the engine compartment, tightened a small bolt, and adjusted a misaligned coupling. Wiping sweat from his brow, he said, "Try it now." The engineers exchanged doubtful glances, but Ava climbed into the cockpit. She turned the key. The engine coughed once, twice, then roared to life with a smooth, perfect hum. The blades spun steadily and strong. Everyone froze. The same team that had mocked Ethan now stayed, dumbfounded. The sound of the helicopter filled the hangar like a symphony. Ava stepped back, jaw slightly ajar. That's perfect, she whispered. How did you? Ethan's smile was subtle. The pressure regulator was off by less than a millimeter. Sometimes the smallest things create the biggest problems. As the rotor slowed, Ava approached him, her tone softer. You're getting more than a paycheck today. What is it that you want? He hesitated. Honestly, I'm a single dad. My daughter starts school next week. I just want time to walk her to her first day. No overtime, no fuss. Ava blinked. The simplicity of his request hit harder than she expected. In her world, people asked for money, cars, influence, never time. You've got it, she said. And if you ever want a permanent role, my company could use someone who listens the way you do. Ethan nodded politely. Thanks, but I like working where the skies are open. He began to leave, but Ava stopped him. Ethan, you didn't just fix my helicopter. You fixed my perspective. That evening, Ava stood alone by the helicopter as the sunset bathed the sky in shades of orange and gold. She realized she had spent years surrounded by voices that spoke loudly but never truly heard. Her, the machines, or even themselves. That quiet, humble, genuine mechanic had reminded her of something she had forgotten in her climb to success: respect. The next morning, she directed HR to launch a new initiative, the Ethan Initiative, a fund to train and hire local mechanics without formal degrees, but with real talent and dedication. When Ethan stopped by to return a borrowed wrench, she told him about it. He grinned. Well, Mom, looks like your helicopter isn't the only thing taking off. They shared a quiet laugh, two people from different worlds, united by something rare and simple, understanding. From that day forward, every time the company helicopter took flight, Ava would glance at the sky and remember the man who fixed it not for money, but for the joy of making things work again.